Marvin, we have to start with the club's statement that you've decided to move on.
Yeah, listen, I want to thank the club for the opportunity first and foremost. I've had a fantastic 18 months here. It's been a real pleasure, and I thank them for allowing me this opportunity. I want to thank the fans as well, who have been brilliant. Obviously, we started fantastically well when I first came in, kind of that January to the end of the season. And even through the toughest of times, sticking with us has really, really helped. The volunteers like yourself, Sandra, because without you, this club doesn't run. There's so many people I would like to thank. It's a fantastic club with fantastic people. And listen, all good things have to come to an end sometimes. It's important that the club have us time to move forward. It was a decision that was made, but, I wanted to take control of this game. It was important for me to see the season out. Obviously at the AGM with the chairman saying there'll be a change of board. And for me, it's important that the board have their own person, their own person that they appoint. And as I said, hopefully take the club forward.
It's been a very frustrating season for everybody, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been an extremely frustrating season, like you said there. The injuries haven't helped at all. It's made it extremely difficult, and at times, we've just cost ourselves. Today probably, summed up the whole thing. So yeah, it's been tough. It's been a frustrating season, but listen, as a League One club, when you go through the amount of injuries you had, it makes it even more difficult. I think Kelty Hearts away was the youngest team that Queens have ever fielded, and that sums up where we were. So yeah, listen, it's been hard, and even flip side of that, you're forcing boys back, or boys to come back from injury probably too early to help the squad out because the numbers were that low.
You've made your step into management. It's been a tough baptism of fire for you, I guess.
I wouldn't even say it's been tough, Sandra. It's been one of those things, as a manager, all you can do is give your all, and you need that to be, mirrored by every single one of your players. And that's all you do. I can walk away from this club knowing that I've given absolutely everything. You speak to any player in there, they've had absolutely everything from me. If any of them look in the mirror and don't feel they've done the same, well, then they need to learn from that. But for me, no, listen, as I said, I've given absolutely everything. It's not worked out the way we wanted it to be, but it's a tough league. It is a tough league. There's this kind of stigma around part-time, full-time thing. We're a full-time club, potentially with a budget much closer to the part-time teams than, your Hamiltons, Falkirks and Cove. And it's getting more difficult by the season. We saw it when kind of Edinburgh City players were leaving, we tried to sign them, and they're saying we're on the same wage at Edinburgh City as you're offering me to go full time, and I have a job that pays me £20,000 or £25,000 a week. So you're asking boys to take that cut, so it's tough. You're constantly trying to sign young players, and with young players you need to let them kind of organically grow. And at times I know it's frustrating for fans, but going forward nothing's going to change unless the new board decides to get their man in and make a bigger budget. Vastly a bigger budget to get closer to the full-time teams. There's going to have to be a patience to let the young players grow.
There's a lot for the club to do over the summer. What about yourself? What does the future hold for you?
I'm going to go on holiday. That's the first thing, and that's as far as I've looked, Sandra. Honestly, I was given absolutely everything. For these last games, it was important that we didn't get dragged into that relegation playoff. And for me, as manager, it was a bigger achievement steering this team away from the relegation playoff than it was when I came in and closing the gap from 12 points to 3 points with the playoff spot and just missing out on it. And that's the honest truth. That's how difficult it's been. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a massive professional. I give it absolutely everything. And as I said, at times this season I think I've handed out over 100 fines. It's just not been good enough from certain individuals. And listen, I'm the manager, so I take it. I'm not putting any blame on anybody else, but there'll be a fair few that will look at themselves and be disappointed in themselves.
Learning curve for you. Learned a lot from that, I guess.
Yeah, learn an awful lot. But listen, budgets dictate who you get. And sometimes players are at this level because they want to go up the way. Sometimes players are at this level because it's easy for them to just float around. And sometimes players are at this level to kind of trick you that they're going to come and do the right things and be the right professionals, and then they've got no plans of doing it. It's been hard seeing it. That's been the biggest difficulty for me. Just give everything. Just give everything in life to what you do. As I said to these boys, you need to be able to look back in 2 years' time and still be in the game. And for that to happen, you have to be professional off the pitch because it mirrors what happens on the pitch.
And as you say, today kind of sums up the season, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Listen, we ended up getting bullied towards the end. And the defence had been absolutely fantastic. And we're 2-0 up at half-time. I warned them. I said, this second half's about mentality. You have to be strong out there. You have to defend well. And you can't just afford to play the ball from side to side to let them back into it. But again, sometimes people have their own ideas, which you get with players. As I said, sometimes the mentality thing, that's why they're at the level that they're at. You know, and as I said, I love those boys dearly, and you know, on a personal level, I really, really do. But the second half wasn't acceptable, and they know that.